The idea has been with us for some time now, but there's always a moment in life, time in life, and you do it. I turned 60 exactly on 23rd of October, a month back, and that's the day our children, for whom we had kept this 10% in a trust, they asked us to give it to Bharti Foundation so that other children can benefit from this grant, and I think it was a very touching moment, and we all decided that why wait for a few more years, let's just start rolling bigger programs in Bharti Foundation, which has been doing a fantastic work for the primary and secondary level children in 13 states now.
So if I were to just ask you, before I get to the university that you want to be India's answer to MIT, Stanford, etc., the three of you had also mentioned that this was money that had been set aside for your children's future. All your children are doing different things. They're not part of Bharti Airtel. And I'm just going to touch on this point because Uday Kotak has said recently in a corporate governance report that succession planning is very, very important. How are you three Bharti brothers planning that?
Well, our succession has been very well taken care of because it's a unique model where family has moved out of actively running businesses for some years now, while we are available for strategic inputs or from other larger issues. But Gopal Vittal is the CEO of Airtel, and similarly there are Sam Ghosh, who looks after financial services, and the other CEOs running other businesses, Sal Real Estate, and Del Monte is looked after by a CEO, Centum is another CEO. So all these businesses have their CEOs. And if something was to ever happen to them, and you've seen changes in Airtel, for example, from Anil Nair to Sanjay Kapoor to Manoj Kohli to Gopal Vittal, so all these changes have been very well structured and designed. So those companies are in great shape. Personally, as shareholders, I mean, your succession is what? I mean, if you pass away tomorrow, your shares go into your family or wherever you will them. Idea is when we are alive, able and strong, start to give away something back to the society.
And you're doing that at a time when we're seeing a telecom war, Rel Geo, and you're deciding that are you going to focus more on philanthropy, on giving back to society?
It's taken us 20 years, fearing will our business be destroyed. And right now we are another big uncertainty in the marketplace. We can take another 5 years or 10 years to field it. But let's go and do it now. I mean, we are on the other side of the timeline. Rakesh is 62, I'm 60, Rajan is 58. It's time to now move on. I mean, I think we will have enough. And the governments of the time and the current government have given us enough opportunity to build a lot of wealth for the family, build great businesses. I think we feel fairly secure to start giving.
Do you want to tell the viewers about the new university you've announced?
Yeah, the purpose of today's grant of 7,000 crores is principally towards creating a Satya Bharti University for Science and Technology, and also to expand our program in primary and secondary schools in deep rural villages. This university will be massively tech-led, so artificial intelligence, AR, VR, IoT, robotics, cyber security, and of course standard electrical, electronics and other streams, and hopefully management as well. And if you need to add one or two more streams, we'll do that. This is focused primarily on underprivileged children who will never get an opportunity to go to a university of this class. And it will be absolutely for all those children who come from that section and are deserving to be in the tech space will be given free education like our schools do. And we hope that by 2021 we can roll our first batch of students.
Mr. Rakesh Mittal, tell us, where will you want to set up this university? I understand your connection with Ludhiana, with Punjab. Is it likely to be that?
Well, the preference would be North India. So let me say that we are already engaged with the Punjab and Haryana governments. Both the chief ministers have actually rolled out the red carpet. They have shown us some land parcels, and as we speak, our teams are assessing those. The idea is to get within 45 minutes of the international airport, either Chandigarh or Delhi, with a strong economic ecosystem around that, schools, housing, entertainment for students and all. So I think all that is being looked into. We would be getting about 100 acres of land on lease, since this is a model where we are going to provide free education to the economically backward students. We had asked for land on lease, and both the chief ministers have raised their hand. And I assume that there will be no problem in getting the land.
Mr. Rajan Mittal, we were part of the finance minister's business delegation to the US. I was covering that as a journalist. We met your son in Harvard University. How are you going to make sure that this university is going to be India's answer to some of the Ivy Leagues that you see, and that it's also going to be merit-based? That's always a concern when the private sector tries to enter education. There's reservation. There are caps on fees, for example.
You know, as you've heard, the idea really itself is that we are bringing in students who really can't afford, either going out or even for the Indian colleges. So really we are setting the base itself that we are saying economically backward, challengers who are very meritorious still can't do it. So that base is pretty much set. And we believe as the private sector is coming in, the governments must relax those norms, allow us to run universities of global standards, and that would be the objective. So that's why we are talking to the faculty outside. We are talking to people who have actually managed world-class universities for them to come at least in the setting up phase. So that all is being discussed.
Mr. Sunil Mittal, you know, I had been to the Shiv Nadar school in UP, which is free education, and Roshni Nadar told me that one of the biggest challenges is to have faculty. Nobody wants to go and live in the hinterlands, for example. How do you get the best of teachers from a Vasant Valley or a Doon school or a Welham school? How are you going to go about that?
I think it will be the attractiveness of the product. The university will be very heavily tech-based, and also, as Rakesh said, it will be near Chandigarh or Delhi airport. So families of faculty, their children, students will have an access to a big city like Chandigarh or Delhi within 45 minutes. Without that, you cannot really get the right faculty. So for a technology of the type we are talking about, you need to be close to a city. And we will ensure that. And I think Bharti pulls talent like a magnet, whether it's in our corporate side, and I'm sure the same will follow here. My contacts around the globe, Rakesh's contact, Rajan sits on the board of Yale, I sit on the board of Harvard University's Global Advisory. So we have a lot of connections, and we have spoken to, I sit on the Global Advisory, circle of friends of Cambridge. I'm very confident we'll be able to pull very, very high quality talent from around the globe, and we'll also be willing to pay very, very high amounts of money for them to relocate to India.
You already pledged 7,000 crore rupees, but if you're also going to provide to the needy scholarships and it's going to be residential based, etc., you're going to need more money. You know, let's be honest. So how are you going to do that? Are you already talking to your contacts, like you said?
Well, I personally feel 7,000 crores will, a large part of that will form a part of the corpus, and that income coming out of the corpus will support the university's activities. From the assessment we have made, and we are good businessmen, we make our plans well, I think this is going to take care of this university very easily. But 10% is the start. Let's see where this giving ends up.
You mean you could give more? For example, like what Warren Buffett and Bill Gates talk about. We see Nandan Nilekani do that earlier.
So we are deeply, connected to serving the society. We come from political family. We have grown up in a very active political family. We have seen pain. We come from a middle class background. We know the values. Our children happily said give our 10% away for the other children. So there is a DNA in the Bharti system where we are not only known for high quality companies, but ethical governance, soft part of our DNA comes out alive. And a lot of people who come and work for us just don't work because we give them high salaries. They work because the environment is very good. So I personally feel that our growing up days, we were connected to the society, coming from an active political family. So from that point of view, if more is required, more will be given. And do remember, we are all now nearly 60 or more, and it's time to start, while building our businesses, also now start looking at
So, Warren Buffett has spoken about how his children couldn't accept this fact. So I just want to know, your son is still in college, but like whether we talk about a Kavin or Shravan or Ramit, your son, are they in support of you giving away personal family wealth?
Yeah, I mean,
All 7 children raised their hand.
They all were very supportive of it. They said, we will, like our 10% we are reserved for them. I'm sure they know there's another 90 to look at. So they not only had no difficulty, they were the ones, all 7 of them, who proposed.
Before I let you go, we are also close to budget 2018. Giving away wealth is taxed as well. The legislation is not very friendly for it. If you could make suggestions to the finance minister on how to make philanthropy easier and to incentivize industrialists like yourselves, what would it be?
Yeah, giving to a philanthropic organization is not taxable, but there are issues of gifting it to which are not registered philanthropic trusts. For example, trusts meant to keep shares for the benefit of trust. They have to. There is a problem of gift tax and all that. I'm sure we would like to talk to the government. US has been an apostle of giving. Its reason is it's very, very tax friendly and very easy to do philanthropy. And I think that's one area we would like to engage with the government. Their problem is a lot of people abuse these concessions, and there is not everybody who's building great institutions, great foundations, doing good work in the society. So government will have to build safeguards, and I think that's where it gets caught up in the bureaucratic model. You want to build safeguards, in that even genuine efforts get stuck. So we hope we can find the right balance there.
My last question to you, and I promise that to your team as well. Have you also been able to do this at a time because the great telecom war has stabilized? You managed to, snap up Tata Tele, Telenor. There's some rationality that's supposed to be coming in pricing. You've come out with a handset as well.
No, far from it. If you had to use that criteria, we should not be giving anything away, because we don't know how long this battle is going to go. So you need all your arsenal to fight those battles. But no, as I said, for the last 20 years it's been going on. It's never been a question. In 2003, the question was not if, it was when will Bharti collapse. Our share price was down to 19 rupees. Everybody was saying we are going to disappear. So you feel a little alarmed.
Because you're using your personal wealth to get back to society and not maybe to recapitalize Bharti to take on Relgio, which is the other way to look at it.
Yeah, which is true. So therefore, but we can carry on, waiting for it to market to get okay. There will be another war there, another disruption tomorrow on technology, or somebody else may come and challenge. This will go on. We can't wait for it anymore. I have no doubt the customers have responded. Airtel is being loved in the marketplace. We are gaining market share. While a war is going on, margins are down, revenues are down. I have no doubt Airtel will come out very strong.